Hi, I'm Void,
I'm Enigma.
and this is the CDL Report.
Let's get right into it. We got a pretty boring weekend of matches, but I first want to see
Yeah.
how you're doing, Void. How you doing? How's your weekend? How we feeling today?
That's pretty good. Like you said, it was kind of boring. All the series kind of went as you expected. No real upsets.
Yeah. Almost, but
Almost, yeah.
not not quite enough. I think we just get right into it. Thieves, Vancouver, 3-0. This series was not close. I think Vancouver just had a bad day at the office.
I think it was like
Yeah,
that bad.
it
Map
was
2 and
pretty
Map
bad.
3 went all the way. It really felt like Map 1 was like a revenge tour for the minor, them
Yeah,
losing that vault hard point, I should say.
yeah.
You know, Maps 2 and 3, they were close until they kind of weren't. I feel like LA Thieves just really had that clutch factor, especially in that round 11 and that
Yeah,
round 5. Can we talk about that round 5
by
Ghosty
all
going on
means.
the 10 streak?
Yeah,
You
that was
know,
insane. That was insane in that control. That was
yeah,
crazy.
it was pretty close until round 5 and Ghosty just took over.
Yeah, I fully agree. It was map one was not close. Map two went to round 11, like you said. That one could have gone either way. Thieves clutched up, and then the map three, Dan Ghosty just took over.
Yeah,
Not much else to say here. I think these Surge cats are still for real, but I just think they had a bad day against a phenomenal team.
yeah, well
Uh,
put.
yeah, I think we just move on. Falcons, Toronto, 3-0. Oh no, 3 was it 3-1? That
3-1.
it was 3-1. Sorry. I'm so used to just thinking Falcons 3-0. My bad.
I mean, Falcons, look,
Their
there's
search
not
is good.
there's not much to talk about except their search, Their search is good, but everything else is just looks
It's really
so
bad.
bad.
It's really bad.
Bro, that first map 1, they only got 68 points. I mean,
Yeah.
for a team in the CDL, you can't consistently being like 100-point clubbed and stuff and losing by 100 points.
I mean, clearly you can if you're the Vegas Falcons. Clearly. I don't want to spend too much time on this series. Falcons, it's the same issue that we've been seeing the entire
Yeah.
time that they've been in the CDL. Respawn just isn't there.
It's
Search
like
is
they're not learning.
surprisingly good. I do think they are learning, uh, but I just think against a good respawn team like Toronto, like they're just not going to stand much of a chance.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I don't want to spend too much time on that. LAG, New York. New York slammed them. And I
Oh,
mean, this series was not close.
not at all. It was an AR masterclass by C9.
Yeah.
Sib and attacks both dropping over 1.5 KDs.
Yeah.
I mean, they dismantled them.
Yeah. I thought this could have been a really close series because of Kismet. Kismet, the Bulldog, he's been insane at this game and he just needs some help.
Yeah.
Bulldog went quiet for the first time this season. His first bad series. What are you gonna do? He's due.
Another
He's
quick
been
3-0.
Yeah, he's been their light in such a dark tunnel. Um, yeah, when Kismet goes dark, this team is just this team's already chalked. But if Kismet's going dark, it's genuinely over.
Yes.
C9 just played really well. Like, there's not
Yeah.
much else to say there. C9 are
Gen-
performing like we thought they would. In stage one, they just had a bad first stage. Everyone's kind of turned it up a notch. I'm waiting for Mac to really spark again. He feels like the X factor on the squad right now. Right now, in this moment.
Yeah, but I don't think he's really been playing that bad
No,
lately.
no, he hasn't. His teammates are just playing at an insane level.
Yeah,
So I'm just waiting for him to match them. So once he matches them, they can be a real danger. They
I
could really
agree.
make it to a Sunday. Let's move on to Saturday. Void, take us away, man.
Day 2, start off, Faze versus Rocker, quick 3-0. You know, anything to say about this series?
Um, Estrio shoots back. Everyone else, not so much. That feels like a common theme when
Yeah.
this rocker team faces Thieves or Faze. Estrio is shooting back really well, and everyone else goes quiet. Like
I mean,
yeah,
the Tiny Terrors have that nickname for a reason. They just absolutely destroyed
yeah,
Rocker.
yeah.
It
That
wasn't
was
even a
insane.
competition.
The first map got pretty close. I did think Rocker could have stole that first map. They
They could
fumbled
have.
at the end. Phase clutched up. Again, Tiny Terrors, man. What else is there to really say? These guys are quite literally terrorizing the league by staying together for so long. Like
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy
so
the
annoying.
longevity these two players have had with each other.
Yeah, and it's gonna stay that way. I cannot see a world where they drift away from each other. Like
Oh no, not at all.
I
They
think they're the duo for life.
oh 100%. I mean, they started on E United Black Ops 4 together and have been together ever since, just destroying the CDL.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to
let's
those guys. Yeah.
let's move on. Next series we had 3-1. Ravens beat Cloud9.
Yeah. There's not too much to say here. The better team won.
Yeah, I think it was still
Yeah.
a close-ish series though. You
To an
know.
extent. The map 3 was probably the closest, and that's just because Sib, I believe, dropped 40 in that map 3 protocol just to keep them in the
He did drop
series.
40, yes.
Sib is a monster. I just think C9 got beat by the better team.
100%.
I don't think there's that much to say here. My
I mean,
onliner Gwyn
online
is
went.
still. We just said the same thing. Like my onliner Gwyn, like this guy is so good online, and he's so capable of transitioning it into land. I'm just waiting for it to happen. There's not too much to say here, honestly. Just the better
Yeah,
team won.
let's just move on. LA Thieves versus Breach, quick 3-0.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
wasn't close.
it felt like Breach weren't even playing.
Yeah, Cammy forgot how to use his thumbs for the series. That was bad. That was really bad.
I
It
mean,
was bad at all of them.
three players on Thieves dropped an over 1.3 KD. I mean, it just wasn't even close.
Yeah, Thieves felt very comfortable the entire time. Even when Boston was starting to make a comeback on that protocol hardpoint, it just felt like Thieves were just in the driver's seat the entire time.
100%.
Not much else to say. Yeah, 3-0. Let's move
Next
on.
up, next up, we got Optic Texas versus Miami Heretics. Another quick 3-0.
Optics sucks, man.
They're so
Why?
I don't
Why?
know what
Genuinely.
it is. This is a team that's proven themselves to win. They've won a major last year. They won champs last year. In a pretty convincing fashion in that grand final.
Yeah.
But they just have not been able to translate it to this game.
There's a lot to say here.
Yeah,
I think the reason the community is so hell bent on this team, like they're the focal point right now.
of
One,
course.
one, it's because it's Optic. Optic's the biggest name in Call of Duty. For competitive wise, obviously, they're the biggest name. They've always been that way, so they just always get the most attention. Second off, they are our world champions. So our world champions are under a microscope. That's always going to be that way, just like New York was last year.
I mean, what is it now? They've lost what, like 18 maps in a row?
I think it's more.
Yeah,
If we're not counting Falcons, then I believe it's 20 something, 21. I want to say
yeah, it's something.
it's bad.
At some point, something's got to give. You got to make
Yeah.
a change.
Uh,
I don't know
yeah.
what that change is. I don't know if it's just they're bad at this game,
Yeah.
but
So my thing is, it's not even like they're just losing series, right? Last year we briefly saw kind of this for the
they
Major
had a
Four
slump.
stint, a really bad slump, but they picked it back up and won champs. But in that slump, they were still winning maps. They're
Yeah,
not winning maps right now. They're
not at
0
all.
and 20 something against anyone not named Falcons. This is
Yeah.
bad. This is really bad. Um, I think they're writing it out to the major. One for the ring ceremony, which I I don't think is that big of a factor. If I'm honest, I know that some of the community thinks so. You made that face,
No,
so it seems like you kind of disagree a little bit.
I mean, if I'm Optic, e- especially with a team that just came off a champs win, I feel like they at least deserve to stay together till at least Major 2. But if something doesn't change, they gotta change.
I agree. I think they're writing it out to the major. I do kind of respect it, but it's also super concerning because we're once Major 2 happens, let's say they bomb out, right? Let's say they
Yeah.
get top 12, don't win a map, yada yada yada. They'll be in like ninth place. They'll be out of champs contention at that moment in time. They
Yeah.
can still turn it around and make champs. But right
They
now,
can.
I'm worried about them making champs.
I know, and it's so early in the
It's
season. They
so
just
early. Yeah,
they just haven't been getting any COD points whatsoever, even
because they
against some
can't
of these
win a
bottom
map.
teams.
Because they can't win a map. Even that Falcon series that was in the minors, so they literally didn't earn any points.
Yeah.
That was their only win, and they didn't earn any points because it was in the minor tournament.
But does it really count against Falcons? I mean,
Listen, at that point, a win is a win. I thought it could give them some confidence, and they'll start turning it around a little bit. Like at least win some maps, After that,
yeah.
I can't believe they've gone this long without winning a map. I,
I
it's
mean,
just
none of
so
them are
mind
playing
blowing, man.
well. It's all
Yeah,
four of them.
it's not just on Kenny. I know everyone's on Kenny's
Oh,
ass,
look,
which is fair,
Kenny's been
but
playing
yeah,
really bad the entire year, but
yeah,
now it's just all four.
yeah. It's not all on Kenny. It's still on Kenny, but it's not all his fault.
Yeah.
Pred is not playing well, but how well can you really expect him to play after not playing for so long? For I think it was like 2 months.
Yeah.
Dashy fell out of the MVP conversation. Shotzi also fell out of the MVP conversation. These guys, none of these guys are just putting up a fight, and
Yeah. So
it's really concerning. It's really sad. I have confidence that at the major, they're gonna do something. They're gonna win a round. They're gonna
they're
win a
gonna.
round.
Oh no, they'll probably win a map, but I just can't see a world where they win a series.
No, I think on land with the crowd trying to recreate the champs energy, something's gonna end up clicking, and they're gonna win a series. I don't think they're gonna make it that far. I think they're gonna win one series. They have to, right? They have to win at least one.
I
Like,
mean, you could hope they do, but
I mean,
with what
there's
I've
yeah,
seen,
yeah,
it just doesn't
it's
seem
bad.
likely. Let's move on
It's
though.
not, yeah, yeah. LAG Falcons. This was the one. If the entire year for the Falcons to get their first hardpoint win and first series win, I genuinely thought this was the one.
I thought it was a closest series
It
by
was pretty close.
Falcon standards, you know.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
like even though Gentle Mates are just atrocious,
They're so bad.
the Falcons are just way worse. There's
Dude.
no reason for any of these players to be in the league.
Yeah. Uh I mean, you're not wrong. Little harsh, but like it is the truth. This series was close though.
It was
That
close.
map
Besides
one,
the besides
that
the
was
control,
that was the yeah. The map one was their golden ticket to actually winning a hard point. They had it. They just messed up on the last P1 and 2, and then it was over. And then they went round 11, could not clutch up. They could have gone up 2-0 going into the control. The control was dominant by LAG. That was a
yeah.
very dominant control. Would have went map 4.
I
LAG
mean,
probably win that map 4. They go to map 5. It's kind of similar to the Optic series that the Falcons had.
yes, it was.
Falcons had the opportunity to go up 2-0 and they just fumbled.
Yeah.
Uh, I I thought this was the one. Uh, I don't think they win a series. this year. Like I genuinely thought this is the one, and they could not get it done. This is over. They gotta reevaluate. Well, they already had to reevaluate, but like they can't even win a hard point. It's bad. It's really bad. I don't want to talk about them more. Let's move on. Vancouver, Miami. This was kind of close, kind of not. It felt like a weird series. It was a weird time.
It was weird, especially because I think throughout the series, Miami outslayed them,
Yeah.
but Surge just outplayed them. You know,
Yeah. I want to give a shout out
besides,
to 04, man.
besides map 3, all the other maps just weren't close.
Yeah.
Map 1, Miami beat them convincingly. Map 2, Surge 6-1, and then map 4, Surge beat them in the same fashion Miami beat them in map 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of exactly how it went. Miami. I think these guys suck. I
They
think
do.
the only shooters there are Rencor and Real. Those guys are the real deal. Like they are such incredible players. It just thinks that they're on this team. Lucky is super inconsistent, and Meadows is really inconsistent. But when he's good, he's really damn good.
He
He's
definitely is.
he's again just really inconsistent.
I want to talk
Yeah,
about 04 though.
yeah.
04 has been playing amazing.
This weekend, yeah. Well, yeah. They only played like the one,
They played
two, I
2.
guess. Yeah, but yeah,
But even in the
that
minor,
series was nice.
when 04 like popped off, he popped off. Like if he can just keep at the consistency,
Yeah,
like he's a real threat.
dude, I love watching 04. This guy's an S&D specialist. Like this guy, I love. I said it last show. This guy's POV and search is such a good watch. Like even if he's having a bad series, you get it to map 5, you can really win because this guy is so good at search. This guy's always
100%.
making plays. I love watching 04. That guy is such a fun watch. Let's move on. Optic Toronto 3-0 again. We just spoke about Optic. I don't want to hash into Optic too much
Yeah.
since we already did. Joe Deceives dropping a 205?
205 set a BO6 record.
Dude,
That's crazy.
how is that even possible?
I know Optics bad, but it just feels like Joe Deceives is their kryptonite.
This year,
Like
yeah.
every time they've played them this year, Joe Deceive just pops off.
Yeah, Joe, this stage especially, Joe Deceives has been
100%.
lights out. I don't think he's had a bad series or even a bad map. Like, this guy has been insane this stage. So, big shout out to Joe Deceives. I also want to give a shout out to Insight. Insight's been more of a slower AR this year, naturally. He's just a slower player. But he grabbed the sub in this series a lot. And he was really moving. And I think he dropped like 36 in the map 1, which I would never expect from Insight. And it's not that he doesn't have the skill, it's just he's just a naturally slower player and he
I
doesn't
agree
get
with that.
as many interactions. But lately he's been really shooting.
I mean, that slower pace really is what made him work so well with Scrap,
Yeah.
just being all up in their face.
Yeah.
I think Beans is kind of trying to replicate Scrap's playstyle. It's just not working out.
Yeah. I think Beans has been good, but like Scrap is also a different breed. You're never gonna replace Scrap.
That's true.
This was the next best thing, I feel. Beans is a great player. He is a slayer.
Yeah.
You're never gonna replace Scrap. This feels right for the team though. Beans fits this team very well. Let's move on to our last match of the weekend. This went to our first map 5 of the weekend, and our first map 5 since I want to say the Minor 2 tournament, grand final that went 7. I know it's like map 7. It's still a last map search. It's still a last map search. This was a surprising watch actually. Map 5. Boston should have won this series if the BattleNet servers didn't go out.
I mean, you could definitely. I mean, yeah, Faze won that last map 6-4, but it really did feel like their momentum was thrown off because of BattleNet going down.
Yeah, and it's like it's not even on the Boston guys. It's not on Faze. It's not even on the league. It's just
they
such a crappy coincidence.
They went up 2-0 quickly off the back of two amazing clutches by Cammy.
Yeah,
that was a 1v3 and then a 1v1 that he just destroyed Faze on.
He ripped draws off a bomb. That was insane.
It's definitely one of those things. Like, what if the servers don't go down? Do Breach carry that momentum into a map win and in turn a series win? Possibly. But what separates the great teams from the okay teams is being able to play off, pauses like that.
Yeah, that is a fair point. That is a fair point. Personally, I think Breach would have won it. But again, like you just don't know. The way Boston started that map was just insane. Back-to-back clutches from Cammy. Cammy had an incredible series, which was desperately needed, and he gave it his all.
Him and Awakening really stepped up this series.
Yeah, big time. Snoopy had a bad one. Purge had a bad one. Snoopy we give a pass. Snoop's been insane this year. Him having a bad series is gonna happen,
100%. He's still a young player.
He's so young. Purge has been good for these guys. I know the numbers probably don't really like say that, but his arrow on the minimap just feels so right. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. I feel like he's always trying to make the right play for the team.
He's impactful.
Yeah. Let's move on. We went over the weekend, and now we do have some clips. We got about 2 clips. Let's go with this one first. We have our listen-in of the week, C9 against LAG. We have that listen-in. It's our listen-in of the week. I thought the listen-ins were pretty lackluster this weekend.
Yeah, they definitely were.
But let's just tune in for a second.
There's no audio.
You're not hearing it? I'm hearing it.
Oh.
You still not hearing it?
No. But if you're saying you're hearing it,
So that was our listening of the week. C9 just sounded really good. It didn't sound too chaotic. You could always understand what they were saying. They were always trying to play together. It also helps when Sib is 22-6 at this point. That also helps you.
That's an insane stat line.
Yeah, that is an insane stat line. I think, dude, when this team is on, they are damn good. They are really damn good. What do you take away from that listening? Anything else you want to add on to it?
I would say they're just sounding really good. You know, I think it's only a matter of time before they take maps and maybe series off some of the better teams out there.
Yeah, yeah. I think they're due for a win, some kind of win against whether it's Faze or Thieves. They're gonna take them the distance when they're all on. They're not
Yeah.
always all on, but hopefully they can get all on the same page in one of those series. That was our listening of the week. Every other listening felt pretty lackluster. And then I just want to get into this P4 on Hacienda. Dude, what was happening here against with this Boston and Faze? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, eh,
Draws, I don't know what Draws is doing here. I loved this at first. I thought
he
he was
should have flanked
pinching.
around. I
I
think the
thought, yeah, good.
I mean, when FaZe set up early, but they literally had no one watching the flank. Like, I get you're expecting them come from mid and Lambo, but Boston were already at P3. You have to expect at least one guy coming from the pinch. You
Yeah,
know, they had no one looking, and they just got wiped from it.
yeah,
Boston, Boston made a great play. They came from behind. They attacked all angles at the same time, and FaZe just couldn't deal with them.
yeah. Dude, I just keep thinking if Draws just pinched, man. Number two was there watching it a little bit, but literally,
Yeah,
if
but
he
if
just
you do
went
it
around
now,
right there, he had the timing. Or even if he just hit the window right there, he had the timing to get one. Um, I don't know why he wrapped around mid. That was very weird to me. It didn't feel right. I don't know. I don't know why he did that. Could have just been a blackout. Could have been a comms thing. They could have communicated, hey, let's hit middle together or something. I don't
they could
know.
have. But it was just well played by Breach to win that.
Yeah, and then you just see the reactions from these guys. These guys were pumped up after that, and they
Oh,
took it into the
100%.
map five. Cammy especially. Cammy felt like a whole different player this series. So big shout out Cammy. But yeah, that P4 was insane. I can't believe Boston really took that. Let's move on to my segment. I love it every week. Enigma's picks. Man, these did not go to plan this week. I'll pull it up in just a moment.
Can't win every week.
Dude, it was so heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. All right, let me get it up. Bada boom. This is what we got. Cammy, I expected to get shit on because it's Faze. It didn't happen. Sadly, this would have won me, I believe, $50. Everyone else went through. Cammy was insane. Shotzi went under because that team has been drastically underperforming. Lucky's been inconsistent. Priesta also inconsistent. Just need Cammy, man. It was shattering. It was world shattering. And then Purge. Purge was getting shit on, man. But in the map three, he really brought it. I really needed him to not do this. This would have been nice. Kenny getting 11 kills in the map three helped me big time.
I
Jesus
mean,
Christ.
Penny's just a guaranteed under at this point.
Yeah, yeah, which is sad to say, but like it's nice for my wallet. Purge got 25. I need him to get under 20. I thought this was a lock. This was actually the one I was least concerned about, besides Kenny. I also didn't expect Kenny to only get 11, but that worked. Lucky map 3, Priesta map 3. It felt like a gold ticket Purge, man. What a shame. And then these are all losses, by the way. I did not win at all this weekend. This was a tough weekend. A very tough weekend at the office for me. Man, everything missing by one is just shattering to me, man. Lucky under for map 2. These are all map 2s. I thought Sid was gonna bring it after he was incredible in that search the other day. He didn't. That costed me. Dan G only had 4. Purge only had 5. Lucky only 3. Draza only 4. I was feeling so good, man. Until that one. That one broke my heart.
Can't win every weekend.
Can't win every weekend. We try again this weekend. We'll see where it takes us. That was Enigma's picks. Gamble responsibly always. Man, that was a very, very tough weekend for me. And the next thing we discussed this last night. Let's go into the map pool. Um, Take us away, Void, because you seemed very passionate about it last night, but you wanted to save it for the show. So by all means.
The biggest thing for me is the search maps. I mean, hardpoint maps aren't that great, but they're doable. For me, it's the search maps. Most maps just feel like you're hitting A. You know, Vault, it's just a bum rush to A. Protocol, you just rush to A. I mean, teams have definitely started to give B a little more attention in Protocol, but it's still mainly just a push. Hacienda, it's mainly A, but you can make B work. Easily make B work. What other maps are there?
Hacienda is the only S&D map that just feels you can genuinely hit both bomb sites with not equal success, but pretty close.
Yeah.
Like they're never going to be equal, but Hacienda is the only one that I feel you can win at both bomb site, not evenly, but pretty close to it.
And let's talk about the control maps. I mean, I feel
Control
like none of these
sucks, man.
None of these maps work on control. It's way too easy to get put in a spawn trap on either side of the map.
I don't know if that's a map. I mean, it is a map thing, but it's also just a control thing.
It is. I think control is just a bad mode in general.
Control sucks. Bring in
Bro,
competitive prop hunt, man. Just think about it. Round 11. It goes the same amount of rounds. I guess not round 11. Give me a round 3. Like, come on. Just give me prop hunt in the CDL. I feel like it'd be kind of fun. That's obviously not realistic.
realistically, I feel like they should bring back capture the flag.
Capture the flag is a good one. Personally, I loved uplink. It's hard to do because we're boots on the ground right now. But I don't know, maybe add some jump pads, add a trampoline, something like just give me uplink back. That was such a fun third mode to watch. Control is just so upsetting to watch.
Let's go right into the hardpoint maps. I mean,
Protocol
I think this
fucking
entire game,
sucks.
this entire game doesn't have great hardpoint maps. We have maps like Volt. You have P4, which is just a money hill. You know, it's super hard to break unless you get a lucky spawns. Protocol, a P4 again. You know, in that if you're set up in that bunker, they should not be breaking you.
Yeah.
You know, there's just too
always
many
money
money
hills
hills.
though.
There's always money hills, but I feel like it's really exaggerated in this game.
Yeah, Protocol's a big one. Protocol is definitely a big one. The Vault P4 is also a big one. We're seeing that broken a lot recently though, which is kind
We
of
have,
weird. But normally it's not broken as easily. There's always been money hills. That's always just been a thing in COD. But yeah, like these are bad. Like these are genuinely like almost unbreakable. Like 90 to 10. You know what I'm saying? Like 95-5. Like most of the time you're not gonna break them. But that's what the money hill is. Like if you don't want to get trapped by it and just have that as such a like downward spiral, you gotta rotate. Rotating, just rotate early. Insight did it. Insight did it
yeah,
against
but
Optic, and he had no one watching him. He ran into P4 at I think 35 seconds for free. For free. No one watched him. He just ran in there for free. But that's against a very struggling Optic, so that's not always going to be the case, especially against like a Thieves or a Faze. They're not going to let that slide. But that's just like one example of like you can rotate to a money hill. But yeah, the hard points are very. They're
I
not
mean,
bad. They're
they're
not
not
that
bad.
bad.
Yo, we got maps like Hacienda, which is just
Red Card's a fun
amazing.
watch too. Red Card's a really fun watch.
It is a fun watch. Not that much to play,
I
but
love it. I love me. I genuinely love playing it. It's a really fun one
the
to
spawns
play.
are just atrocious on that map. But
The spawns are tough.
man, it really is a fun watch. It's a bang
Yeah,
out every time.
yeah, and it just goes to show like who can actually soak the hill
And who could
because
thrive in the chaos?
it's so hard to soak in red card like just any of the points. It
Yeah.
feels impossible to really like hold it and get points. Besides stage is
I
pretty
mean,
easy.
that's why we're seeing a lot of red cards go down to time.
Yeah. Yeah, but that one from Miami and Optic, that was just super sloppy on both ends. But yeah, the map pool's been tough. The map pool this year is tough.
Probably the worst map pool in the history of the CDL. It's
No,
just that bad.
nah. Do you not remember in the beginning of last year, Invasion, Karachi, Terminal.
I still
You love Terminal. I know, but like,
I'd still rather
dude,
play those maps than the maps we have now.
I don't know if I fully agree because you can't run a sub on those maps. At least in this, you can rock a sub and actually benefit. Like last year was just such a bad map pool game until we got Rio, Vista,
It's-
Six Star. Those maps were incredible. I would love for them to come back personally. That doesn't feel realistic because that game literally just happened. But like we need new maps. Dealership felt like it could be used for hardpoint.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I
It's
think it could definitely replace like Protocol or something.
the thing is these new maps that they bring in, they don't have to be good. They just have
They
to
just
be
have to be
better than
better.
Protocol. And that's
And
not saying much.
it's a low bar. It
It's a
really is.
pretty low bar because I don't think the pros like playing Protocol that much. They don't play the matches at least that often. We'll see it every now and then, but we don't see Protocol Hardpoint too frequently. I'd like to see more Hacienda personally, but we're not really seeing too much of that. But like, yeah, the map pool's in trouble. I don't think it's as bad as it was last year, but I do think it's still bad. Like mostly for the searches, control. You're really never gonna get a perfect pool for that. I feel like the perfect map right now is Hacienda. Hacienda feels winnable, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
It's still not great, but it feels winnable. Protocol we're seeing a lot too. Anything other than Vault, man, I'm so over watching Vault. Vault's just a pain in the ass to watch.
And
So
I don't
long.
like Volt at all for like
Yeah.
any mapper mode.
Hardpoint, it's a fine watch
It's
personally.
okay. It's okay, but
Yeah.
man, I'm just done playing that map. I feel like we get that map so often.
Yeah, we do.
Bro, that
Playing
was
playing it
the other
four, literally the other night playing it what 4 in a row, 5 in a row.
4 in a row, 4 or 5, yeah.
It was like 4 or 5 in a row. Just played Vault, and I think we got off after that because we were just so sick of Vault. Like yeah, I'm sick of watching it. I'm sick of playing it. I really we need them to bring in new maps, even if it's old maps. It doesn't have to be raid, standoff, express. It doesn't have to be that. I personally I like
Yeah,
some
but
BO4 maps
yeah,
because
but they're
they.
gonna save those maps for next year.
I hear
All the
you.
remaster maps.
I hear you there, but we still have a current game. Like the map pool is bad.
It is.
Personally, I'd love for them to bring in frequency from BO4. I'd love to see some BO4 maps, like more BO4 maps besides Hacienda.
I
That's
definitely agree. I really like BO4 maps.
dude. Give me some just give me frequency, man. I feel like frequency on this game would actually play so well.
I agree.
I love to see some BO4 maps for search too. That would work for search. Just all modes. It can't get worse. Like genuinely, like you just can't get worse. Devs can't really make good maps anymore, with the exception of Six Star, Vista, Rio. Those were surprisingly good last year.
Sledgehammer delivered last year.
They did. They did.
Treyarch's just so disappointed with their map pool this year.
Yeah, I thought
They're usually on
yeah.
point, but just not this year.
Yeah, they just keep trying to go away from the 3 lanes, and it's just frustrating. Just
Yeah.
stick with what works. I think we end that topic there. I think we close out the show with some predictions. We got some pick'ems. We got some pick'ems that we can go through. Uh, let's start with Surge Ultra. What do we think here for the Friday?
I mean, both are coming off hot, after this past weekend. I think it's gonna be a 3-1 Surge.
I think 3-1 Surge.
Surge has just looked way better. Ultra has kind of been known to falter against some of the top teams. Even in that minor, Surge convincingly 3-0'd them.
That's true.
I think Ultra can definitely take a map, but I just can't see them winning the series.
I think Ultra's gonna come out for a revenge because
You think so?
I think they're not happy with the way they've been placing at these tournaments, whether it was minor one, major one, minor two. I think they're frustrated with that. I think they're gonna bring the fight to Surge, but I do agree that Surge is gonna win. I think it's gonna go down to map 5. I think Ultra's gonna try to Neslo them. I think they're gonna try to do a 2-3-5, and it's not gonna work. I think it goes down to map 5, but I'm content leaving it at 3-1. Let's move on to Optic and Thieves. Is there really much to say here? We have Thieves 3-0, right?
3-0 Thieves. There's nothing we could say here.
No chance Optic gets 1, right?
I see no chance in hell.
Yeah, Scrap went on stream and said he fully expects Optic to really take the fight to them. I love that attitude from Scrap. That means they're doing something in scrims.
You always want a competitive series.
Yeah.
Will we get it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I also don't think so. I think this is the series that's really going to show how bad Optic is right now. That was kind of Faze, like when Faze versus Optic in the beginning when Pred just came back. But we all just kind of brushed that aside because Pred literally just came back that week. Pred's been back like a month now. He's learned the game enough to play at the top level. This team's in shambles. Thieves are gonna dismantle them. I think it's gonna be 100-point club, 6-2 Surge, 3-0 in the control. I don't think it's gonna be a close series whatsoever.
No, not at all.
All right, Ravens, Heretics. What do we think here?
I'm not really sure. Ravens have been looking really good. Miami looks okay at best.
Yeah.
I really don't see Miami winning a map here.
3-0? That's what I was feeling too. That's what I was feeling too. I think Miami could take a respawn if the Ravens just come out flat in that map 1, and then it could just be a slammage onward. But realistically, I do think Ravens should 3-0. I'm pretty comfortable keeping it that there.
Yeah. Up next we have Boston versus Miami.
I believe this would be for winner's bracket, if I'm not mistaken, to see who gets that final spot. It would either be Breach or Heretics, as long as Ravens 3-0 here. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not completely sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's gonna be a 3-2 Boston.
I actually agree with that. I think 3-2 Boston. I think Boston just get into the winner's bracket. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But I believe the number 8 seed faces the number 1 seed. And you just got to go against Thieves or Faze. Like, this is just a disaster for Boston. But making winners is still something.
I mean,
I agree
you get a second chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Up next, we got Thieves versus Rocker. I mean, Thieves are going to be coming off a nice win against Optic. I think it's going to be a nice, quick 3-0.
Yep, I think this series goes exactly how the Faze one went with Rocker, where I think the map 1 could be very close, and then it's just Thieves the rest of the way.
Yeah.
These Thieves guys are just unstoppable. Like, genuinely, like, I don't know who else can stop them besides Faze. They've
I
only
agree.
lost the map to the Falcons. They lost that S&D skyline to the Falcons in the very beginning of the stage, and no one has beaten them since. So who knows? Maybe the Falcons just need to face the Thieves on land, and then it goes the Falcons' way. I
That's
mean,
wishful thinking right there.
yeah. We're in agreement with this, right?
Yeah.
Ravens, Falcons. I don't want to touch too much on that.
Now,
And then,
Faze
Jesus
Gentlemates.
Christ.
I think it's just going to be a nice, quick, another 3-0.
I'm respecting Saturday, man. Look at this 3-2, and then we got 3-3-0s, which I think is very realistic. Yeah, I think
I
LG is
mean,
going to get
it's sad to
cooked.
say, but I feel like it's going to be another boring week of COD.
Yeah, these matches have just been super lackluster recently. I feel like everyone's just getting slammed.
Yeah, they really have been. I think last week there was only 1-3-2.
Yeah, and it was Boston and Faith,
Yeah.
which I think that was the last series anyone expected to go to Game 5.
It was the last series you expect, but man, watching Boston play that was so fun.
It was. It was. When these teams actually put up a fight against the top teams, it's a fun watch. It's just not happening that much. Let's move on to Sunday. Optic LAG. The shitters versus the shitters. What do we think here? I actually don't know what to think here.
I'm
This might
kind
be
of in
the
agreement
toughest
with
one.
you.
This is
This
the,
is
this is the toughest one of the weekend, I think. Who's worse? I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a 3-2 LA.
You think Optic gets some map wins on the board?
I think Optic gets some map wins. And I
Wow.
think Gentlemates are just that bad. Optic gets some map wins.
I don't know. I could definitely see this going map 5. But theoretically, let's say this does go map 5, right? There's no winner here. Like,
No.
LAG suck at S&D, so they're already at a disadvantage. Map 5s, they also suck. They only won once. And then Optic just suck all across the board. I think this might be a LAG 3-0.
Really?
Dude, I don't think I can give them a map win until they actually get a map win. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I think it'll be a lot closer than you think, though.
I hope so. I hope so, man. I want some
could,
good series.
I could settle for a 3-1 Gentlemate.
3-1. All right. We'll meet in the middle. We'll meet in the middle right there. Baby steps with Optic, I guess. If you get a map win, does that equate to a win for the Green Wall? Nah.
No,
Nah. Nah. Yeah.
not at all.
Optic. Yeah, these guys are in hell right now. I really hope they turn around. Same with LAG. I want all these teams to be good. They're just not. Surge Rocker. This would be a fun. This is gonna be a fun one, I think. Actually, I'm really high on this Rocker team, and I'm really high on the Surge team. I want you to take us away first. I want to see what you think before I say what I think.
I think it's gonna be closer than what the map score is gonna say. I think it's gonna be a 3-1 Surge.
Ooh, okay.
Surge has been looking really good. Rocker's been looking good as well, but like we saw against Faze, Rocker just completely collapsed except Estriel, and
Yeah.
Surge has been looking like a top 3 team. I mean,
Fair.
I think there's a big gap between 1 and 2 and 3, but they're still a top 3 team, and I think it's going to be pretty close.
I don't know if they're top 3 like you say they are. I know they
I
had
think
that
there's a big
super
gap.
impressive performance at the minor.
Minor.
They went to the grand finals, took Thieves to map 7. Super impressive. But this last week they kind of, I don't want to say lost it, but they were non-competitive against Thieves, and they let Miami take a map and make it kind of close.
Yeah, but that was only the first map of the series. I mean, after that, Search kind of slammed them.
The map 3 was close. The map 3 was close. The control, but I don't know. I'm still high on Surge. I think this goes 3-2 Rocker personally. I really like these Rocker guys. They're very gritty. I know. I believe I said in the last episode. These guys are so gritty. They never feel out of the series. So if this goes map 5, I really think Rocker take it. You said Surge 3-1. What do we do here?
I'll concede Rocker 3-2.
Yeah, just like
I'll
that.
concede.
All right. And then Faze C9. This is C9's biggest test.
It definitely
This
is.
state, yeah, this stage in the qualifiers. I know they face Thieves in the minor tournament, but this is the time where C9 can really show what they can do against another top team. Like Thieves are a different level, but FaZe are also at that level too. They might be a level below because of the search, but C9s look good in search. Uh, this can go the distance. What do you think?
I don't think it goes the distance. I think Faze after that Boston Breach series are gonna come out swinging. They're gonna come in something to prove. You know, yes, they also versed Gentlemates the day before, but I don't think that's gonna be a challenge for them. I think the match they're really looking at is this one, and I think they're gonna come out swinging.
Fair.
I
They
definitely think
should. They should 3-0.
they should, but I think C9 can take a map off them. You know, if they really show up, I think it would be a 3-1 for
3-1.
Fade.
I think FaZe should 3-0, so I'm just gonna agree with you 3-1. I think they should 3-0, but C9 should take a map. It would not surprise me if C9 brought this to a map 5. They've done it in the past against FaZe. This season already. I dude, as long as they're all on the same page, this team should be able to bring this to a map 5. I don't think it's going to go that way, but if Sib's shooting like he's been shooting, if Mac elevates his gameplay to the level that his teammates are, this could be a fun series. Again, I don't think it will be. It should be 3-1, and that should end our predictions.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts before we close things out here?
I think it's gonna be another boring week of COD, but I'm still excited to watch it.
Yeah, it should be a decent watch. Hopefully, my picks go a little bit better this weekend. You know, we had a really bad weekend. Should be able to come through this weekend. Should again, I do agree with you. It should be a boring weekend of COD. We got the major the weekend after, so hopefully things will kick up for then. And that's it. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Peace out, guys.